Let's talk about one of the greatest copywriters to ever live that many people in this generation have never heard of. So this is about the lazy man's way to riches. This is, for lack of a better word, it's like an encyclopedia or a Bible to business success. And don't let the lazy man's way to riches fool you. I mean, that's copywriting in, I mean, no one would ever call me lazy, although sometimes I think that I am. But the lessons in this book are profound. This is a bookmark, highlight, write them down, get back to them again, read over and over again every year type of book. Now, you don't necessarily have to take my word for it. You know what got me interested in this book? Well, my idol in the copywriting and marketing space is Jay Abraham. I was telling a friend earlier today as we were talking about this book, that like the first time I met Jay Abraham in person, I tripped over a chair as I was walking up to him, and I was like I was giddy as a little schoolgirl. And he gave credit to Joe Carbo and said that Jay Abraham, would not be the Jay Abraham that he is today without Joe Carbo and the work that he did in the copywriting, infomercial, and advertising space. So I wanted to read you a couple of the things that I have highlighted in this book to see if you will find the same power in these words that I do. And then by all means, I'll drop a link. Go get a copy of this book. So let's jump into some of these because they're pretty badass. Actively create that life rather than be created by the circumstances around you. Instead of being manipulated by your various life molds, manage your own life by making your life happen. It's called living your life on purpose. I'll let that set in for a second. We could have a whole discussion just about that. So, one of the greatest copywriters to ever live. That's a powerful statement. Take that together and see how his words help you develop a purpose that will take you to the moon. Those are his words, by the way. Here's the next one. The problem with most people is not that they aim too high and miss it, but that they aim too low and hit it. Most people long for an arrival point, but when they do finally arrive, the process of death and dying begins. You think about all those people that work for 40 years for someone else and are thinking about that retirement that they're going to get to that never actually materializes the way that they want. So in too many cases, these people die at 35 or 40. That's when they start to set these plans for 65 and 70. But then we don't bury them until they're 75 or 85. This is the world of the uninvolved, the walking dead. Sound familiar? It's a world of boredom and monotony, dissatisfaction and depression. So there's this TV show called The Walking Dead that I'm sure you're familiar with, where we talk about zombies. This book was rewritten in 1984. The original version is 1973. And these words are more true today than ever. Are we not living in a world of zombies that are just waiting for death? Man, I can think of people in my family that like are represented by that, but I just can't seem to shake out of it. Here's another one. This is eliminate the negative. You've heard me talk about like eliminating negative in my life, negative thinking, negative people, negative emotions. When you realize and truly accept that you are imperfect, isn't it easier to accept and understand other people's imperfections? That's powerful. Again, a book, I'm being lazy and rich, but the powerful pieces that I'm taking out of this resonate so amazingly with me. One more for you. This is turning have tos into choose tos. It has been my experience both in life and in the lives of all of the people I have worked with, that at the core of every recurring problem, there is a frozen attitude. It is locked in a position that guarantees the problem will occur again and again and again. I almost feel like I'm that preacher on Sunday reading from the gospel and saying, the word of Joe, follow it, live by it. Freaking buy this book and let's talk about some of the experiences you have with the amazing concepts and ideas that are in this. Appreciate each and every one of you growth hackers out there. Peace. Turning have tos into choose tos. It has been my experience both in life and in the lives of all of the people I have worked with,
that at the core of every recurring problem, there is a frozen attitude. It is locked in a position that guarantees the problem will occur again and again and again. I almost feel like I'm that preacher on Sunday reading from the gospel and saying, the word of Joe, follow it, live by it. Freaking buy this book and let's talk about some of the experiences you have with the amazing concepts and ideas that are in this. Appreciate each and every one of you growth hackers out there. Peace.